Today we're going to head down to Sevierville and take a look at Chubbies, a little restaurant with a big attitude. Welcome to Bear Facts, where we explore the Smoky Mountains one bear fact at a time. Are you tired of all the same old chain restaurants with neon lights and long crowds? Well, if you're willing to drive a little way out of Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg, we have just the place for you. The place is called Chubbies. Yeah, Chubbies. And it's in Sevierville off of 441. Now, let's be clear on this. This may come as a surprise to some, but Sevierville is a real place, and it's not the same thing as Pigeon Forge. There is actually a difference between the two, and it's understandable that people can get confused, since they're both connected to 441. But where Pigeon Forge ends, Sevierville continues and continues. Sevierville is actually much larger, with a population almost 3 times that of Pigeon Forge. They also have more residential type of businesses like home improvement stores, grocery stores, and department stores. And you'll also find small mom and pop restaurants that are taking advantage of the higher tourism, but offer cheaper prices and a simpler experience for the locals. Sevierville has seen a major spike in tourism, but the cost of living is lower there and you'll see more locals than tourists. Well, sometimes anyway. Chubby's restaurant is family owned and operated. They have 2 locations. One is a deli and a gas station further down the road, and the second is Chubby's restaurant. And though the deli came first, the restaurant was their real dream, and they made it happen in 2014. The restaurant is owned and operated by Clyde and Chubby. They also employ the entire Chubby clan, including their children and even some grandchildren. They're the real deal, a family-owned and operated business. Many people assume that the restaurant is named after Clyde, but after enough times telling people that his wife is Chubby and that he is just fat, not chubby, they eventually put it on t-shirts and called it quits. Chubby is Clyde's wife of 40 plus years, and she is happy to be called Chubby. The restaurant is easy to find, but it's a little bit of a drive. They're about 14 miles from Gatlinburg and 7 miles from Pigeon Forge. The section of road it's on is 441, but it's also called Dolly Parton Highway. So it's actually pretty close to Dollywood. From the outside, you will see a menagerie of unique sculptures, from cartoon-like figures to deer and other odds and ends. Chubby's is a sit-down restaurant with outdoor seating as well. They also have their own parking, so you won't have to hunt down a spot to park and walk a mile to get there. When you enter the restaurant, you'll see a menu of items, including the specials. Since they do get busy, most of the time you'll be asked to wait for seating. It's not a very big place. There are booths and tables, but if you have a really large group, they might need to get creative with tables. One thing that I noted that seemed odd was the use of space. Along the left wall as you enter is a bar and the cashier area, but at the center of the restaurant is a small gift shop and a few games and souvenirs. I would think that the restaurant would want to optimize the space and put more seating in that area, but maybe they had their reasons. It almost looks like the space used to be a Mexican restaurant, but it's just the vibe I got from the random walls and arching windows and overall feel of the place. But I have no idea. The menu is pretty basic. You have a selection of platters such as chicken tenders, roast beef, or fried chicken, and they have a small menu of sides that you can pick with your meal. They have the traditional selection of side dishes you see in most diners in the South, like fries and fried okra. Am I saying that right? I'm never sure. And pinto beans. They have a few dessert items, but not a big selection is posted on the menu. Bummer. Desserts are one of my favorite things about diners. Now, my husband is a connoisseur of mozzarella sticks, and you might have noticed we seem to get them every time we go somewhere. So, of course, we got them at Chubby's. The prices weren't too bad. It seemed on average price for most places the mozzarella sticks is between $7 and $10 these days, and Chubby's was sitting about $8. One unique item on their specials board that I had to try were the deep fried deviled eggs. If you're not familiar with deviled eggs, they're basically a hard-boiled egg stuffed with egg yolk that was mixed with mayo and mustard. Obviously, people add other things to the stuffing, but one thing I've never seen was a deep-fried one. So I just had to try it. I won't lie, it was interesting. Not bad, but not something I would try again. I guess I just like my deviled eggs served more traditionally. But like I said, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't to my liking. My husband tends to shy away from any form of adventurous foods, so he merely scoffed at my eggs and went back to his fried cheese. And he considers any kind of egg not hidden in cake adventurous. So that should tell you something about his diet. For the main dish, my husband got a burger and fries. It was a good-sized dish and was reasonably priced as well. The waitress said that their burgers are a top seller, so if you end up going to Chubby's someday, I would consider trying it. I struggled with my choice, going back and forth between the prime rib special and the beef tips. The beef tips won out since I wasn't certain I could finish the steak. I found that steak just doesn't reheat very well, so I passed up on the prime rib and went with the beef tips. I was actually impressed with the tips. They were tender and well cooked. I ordered mashed potatoes and mac and cheese as my sides, and the platter also came with bread. The restaurant also uses those kiddie plates that separates the food. That was cute. Because we end up going out to eat so often when on vacation, I always have a cooler in the car and will plop the extra food in there. When I get home, I pop it in the freezer until I'm ready to have it again. A few weeks later, I pulled them out for my lunch for work and was pleasantly surprised that the beef tips were still pretty good, though the mac and cheese didn't survive the freezing process all that well. Overall, it's a great little diner. They have a small menu, but all the basics are on it, and it's a great place for picky eaters. One of the biggest draws is that since they're off the main trail, it's not as busy. They have breakfast as well, and all the prices are reasonable. I like the all-you-can-eat biscuits and gravy dish they had on their breakfast special that day. It was only $5. That's a steal. I would suggest giving them a try if you're tired of overpaying for food in Pigeon Forge and don't mind the trip. I hope this video helps you plan your visit to the Smoky Mountains. Please note that we at Fairfax do not get paid for our videos. You're getting an honest review from our personal experiences. But facts and things change, so please let us know if you learn anything new and want to share your experience in the comments. Thanks again for visiting us at Fairfax, the Smoky Mountains. Please click that like button and subscribe to our channel.